I never felt any pressure. I told you, I always felt like I was the best player, and that's not being braggadocious. I just took that into my approach. I
wish I had that.
That comes from being young and playing Pee Wee football. Like, my mom was my biggest fan, so when you got a parent that's always there for you and pushing you and telling other people in the crowd, he the best. So you develop that, you know what I'm saying? And then you start becoming good, and you think, like, I really am pretty good at this.
Okay.
So, I always been like that. Even today in the gym, working out, training, I feel like I'm the best trainer in there. And that's nothing against any other trainers.
Yeah.
I just take that approach to everything.
Casa, make yourself at home, do your do. Welcome to my pad, this your lab, go create your move.
This episode is brought to you by Subway. What's good, everybody? It's 99 Miles Per Hour podcast with me, your host, Percy Garner, and I'm excited for today's show. I got family on the show, and but before we get to the family and the guests today, I want to give a shout out to Subway. Appreciate it for being a sponsor of the podcast, making it possible. I actually got to get my meal tomorrow, so can't wait to try out one of that. Have you tried the new honey mustard? What's it called? Honey mustard rotisserie chicken. And I melt everything. You got to melt it. But appreciate you to the Fitzgerald family for being a sponsor of the show. We love you, and I will check you guys out. No cookies, though. We got to do just the sandwich. And then we got some new merch coming. Check out the website. That's store.percygarner.com. Again, store.percygarner.com. Go there, check it out. All the proceeds go to a Dover student, to get a scholarship to help them in their funds at the university level. And then there was a tongue smack. Anyways, let's get to the guest. So today, upon his request, we won't do a big introduction. Everybody knows I love doing introductions, but we got big bro, my big brother, Jason Garner. How's life?
Life has been pretty good, man. Had a little wrinkle last week.
Yeah.
Beyond that, everything is going pretty good, man.
That's good. I know I was, hesitating to ask you to come on the show, but I knew. We've both been through some stuff in our life, so I knew you could handle it, but I just was like, let me wait a little bit. But you came through, and I appreciate it. I'm excited for today's show. We gonna talk about the healthy lifestyle that you live, and how you kind of took me and kind of helped my back into my career and kind of helped me be more successful, kind of training me and trying to make me eat better. I don't know if you succeeded in that, but you tried. And then also talk about other parts of my life that you impacted outside of the training. And that's just, I guess, basically like similar to our culture, how we dress and all that stuff, but we'll get into that. And your sports career and being a father to 19 girls. How many kids you got?
7 girls.
7 girls. Goodness gracious. You catching up with Eddie Murphy. But no, man. First, I just want to, I guess, start off by just talking about like what made you, I think I know the story, but what made you just say, you know what, I'm done with all this food, this meat and a lot of stuff and become vegan?
I had high blood pressure to start off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I wasn't too concerned about it. I was young, dumb, but then I talked to a nurse and she explained it to me. And I was like, oh, I better take care of that. So I just started eating a little bit better that way.
Gotcha.
And then I was working out on top of that. And I started reading about meal prepping and things like that. So I started meal prepping.
But you always worked out, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always worked out. But it was more for the look.
Yeah.
As opposed to being healthy and those things. So
yeah.
I started meal prepping, as I was saying. And I was cooking chicken one day, like cleaning it. And I got sick. I think I might have got salmonella. And after that, I was like, if this food is making me sick without eating it, what is it doing to me eating it?
Dang.
Yeah. So I just cold turkey right there.
Wow. Yeah, I did not know that you got salmonella. I know the story was about, you was prepping the chicken and you was just like, you told me you just got sick. And I just thought that meant you was cooking the chicken and all this stuff. You was just like, went over to the trash can. I didn't know.
Didn't even make it to the cooking part, was just like cleaning it up real good, peeling that little film off.
Yeah.
I guess I did so many of them, I got salmonella.
Man.
It was bad.
Dang, yeah, that sounds bad. And just so, I know, because I know I love eggs. That's one of my favorite foods. Even though last episode we was talking about my Fast 9 questions and I said bread. But eggs is like my favorite thing to eat. That's why I love breakfast. But like, what are some things that if I went vegan that I couldn't eat right now besides meat? Because everybody knows that.
If you went vegan?
Yeah. So everything from an animal?
Anything that's animal.
Okay.
I still use honey. I'm not like, I don't do it for like to protect the animals. I'm not one of those people. I do it to protect myself.
Gotcha.
I still use honey, but any other animal product I really don't mess with.
Dang, I didn't even think honey would be in there. That's crazy.
Serious vegans, they include honey.
Dang. Wow. Now, do you like because I know you worked out and you started eating and now with your girls, how are you with them? Do they want to do what you're doing, or do they sometimes eat vegan, sometimes eat normal?
Yeah, they like to eat how I eat.
Okay.
But when they're with me, they eat vegan, and when they go home, they don't.
Oh, okay. So they get the best of both worlds. Yeah, if that's a thing.
You could say that. Yeah.
Man, okay. So that's, I guess I thought I knew my brother, but it's finding out some stuff, and that's what this show's all about. But no, man, like I've always struggled. I never was like a big fast food eater. Like McDonald's it's not like I'm always going there. My fast food would be like Subway, Chipotle, like that type of stuff. And a lot of, in college I ate Chick-fil-A a lot. That's fast food, but I consider that to be decent, but it would just always be my foods in between, and we all know I'm addicted to Reese cups. But the chocolate, the thing I've noticed about myself lately, because I just fasted for 24 hours for the Bible study group that I'm doing with church. And I'm like, you know what? Because I was at the dentist and I heard the dentist, when she was cleaning my teeth, her stomach growl. And I was like, I don't think I've had my stomach growl in a good 5 years. I think that means I'm eating too much. So I've been trying to, after that 24 hours, I was fine. When I would get into that situation where I'm like, because I know me and you had the discussion when we were talking about, I think one of my sisters, Markeisha Carey, was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing where, I eat a whole bunch of small meals during the day. And I was like, I don't, we both, I know you more than me, the Ben Greenfield book and listening to that, that's, you don't follow that, do you? I feel like it's better to go less.
Yeah, I've tried like 6 meals a day and it didn't work for me. So I tell people you got to find out what makes you feel good and what works for you.
True.
That's how I go with anything. 6 meals a day, small, big, whatever. It's a lot of food, man.
I got you. Well, I mean, you can, you ain't got the same body type as me, and
even you, I don't think you could knock down 6 meals.
Nah, not even if they're small, because I'm just used to eating like in one sitting, just not gouging myself, but I eat to the point where, not where I'm comfortable, where I'm uncomfortable, where I'm just like, okay, I can't eat anymore. And I think that's the one, the one thing I need to change.
That's that sleepy eating.
Yeah, it's not good. But I also wanted to ask you, since I don't think I'm gonna do a Fast 9 at the end, but I just want to ask you, like, if it's your birthday and the best chef in the world is about to cook you a meal, what meal would you want?
I like Indian food, so I would probably have them make me some type of Indian something.
Now, is that curry or what is it?
Curry.
Oh, okay.
Indian, I would just say I'm vegan and put me together some Indian type of meal.
Okay, I'm down with that. I've been smashing Pim Fisher's You ever been to Pinfisher?
No, that's the Thai place?
Yeah, I smash. I've only had one dish from there. It's the chicken pad thai. And I keep the tofu in there too, you know.
I like pad thai.
Okay. Show you some love on the tofu. I mean, I didn't know about any of this stuff till you, of course. And like, obviously you impacted a lot of things in my life, but I want to, you know, kind of go into growing up. So I would say I think you're 10 years older than me. Exactly. Right. Yeah. You know, I already, as you was coming in, I was saying you was my younger brother. I think I look pretty young, right, Josh? Look good.
You still got a baby face, man.
Well, I thought because of you got your face hair what, like mid 20s? Yeah. I thought that was gonna happen for me, but it didn't.
You got different genetics.
Yeah, that is true.
You got the size, not the beard.
I think I like the size, but I would have took some speed, but I didn't get that gene. But I wanted to kind of, you know, talk about several things. Obviously, our family is all about sports, and you being 10 years older than me, I think that helped me out in certain times. Sometimes I get discouraged, but you never took it easy on me down from when we had the little 6 foot like shack rim, the breakaway rim, where we put it on the curve to elevate it a little bit. And, you know, you never were like, let me score. I had to earn each bucket.
That's right.
And, like in your mind at that time, cause I don't think I've ever asked you this, but in your mind, like for you, was that in your mind of like, I ain't gonna let him score cause I want to make him better than I am? Or that was just you just being a savage to me as a child? No,
I was just trying to train you up, man. Just like you said, trying to make you better than I was. I love sports so much, so I would emulate guys when I played you, and I just wanted to show you, give you that same passion I had. That's all.
I think it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, with your girls, are you gonna try to do something like that? Have you seen the King Richard movie with the Serena twins?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm a little older now, so I just let them go their direction, and whatever direction they go, I just give them a little push.
I got you.
The twins there in gymnastics, and I tell them if you're gonna do it, you gotta can't halfway do it. You gotta go all the way into it. So
true, and I agree with that. And I try to stress the purse, like anything you do. Of course, I would love you to play sports, but no matter what you do, because he's playing the piano, if it's piano, whatever it is, you gotta get in there. You can't, you can't just do it half-heartedly, not practice, I want you to, whatever it is, I want you to be great at it. So let's pick something that you're interested in. I don't want you to just do something because I did it or whatever, but gymnastics, though, for girls, I hope Peyton, gets into that, but I want to go back to, obviously, I don't have the same genes as you because you was running back. I tried a running back out at an early age, and everybody realized that wasn't.
You outgrew it.
that wasn't going to be the thing for me. That was back when I played for the Steelers. Josh, I think you're on the Broncos, right? Boo. Anyways, playing for the Steelers, wearing number 36 and being the, I wanted to be the running back so bad. I know Dad was a receiver, but you were the person that I'd never seen Dad play. Right. All I saw was old black and white photos with him with an afro. So I didn't know, what was going on. I just know, hey, Jason, he was, number 40, running the rock. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's what, you kind of, part of the basketball thing, you kind of just trained me to do that, and kind of making me tough, because me being the youngest out of Dad's, or not youngest, but, the youngest boy, right, where you couldn't just go and tackle Markeisha. But, I mean, it was something, dang, I did it again. It was something that, I appreciated, not at the time, but looking back, I'm like, big bro was looking out. But, I mean, you said you wanted to make me better than you, but there was more stuff in there. It wasn't just about, hey, perform well. No. Like, you were trying to instill other things in me, and I've noticed that now. But, like, just talk about, like, how you saw it. Did you think I was spoiled? Did you think I was soft or what?
Just my little brother, man, and everything I had, I just wanted to pass on. Stuff that I learned. That's all. I was just trying to groom you up, man. Just love for it that I had for you. That's all.
See, I didn't take it as love, but
tough love.
Tough love. I appreciate it.
I just knots here and there.
Well, most of that was because, so we lived at grandma's, and you had your your big shoe collection, which I found out was just a portion of it, but in grandma's basement. And, I would, because I ain't trying to, when I was in 7th grade, I wore the same shoe size as you do now.
That tells you how fast you grew.
Yeah. But I was, going down, sneaking the J's. And this was before everyone was sneakerheads. It was really just a part of, I feel like, our culture that now has been adopted by a lot of people. I'm seeing all types of kids, that care about sneakers, even young girls. But quickly, before we talk about, the butt webs you used to give me, because I know you inspired me to want to, dress and have, nice sneakers and all that. Like, what inspired you? Did you have someone in the family, or was it just hip hop culture, athletes?
It was just part of hip hop culture. My mom, though, she kind of seen that I was into it, so she kind of pushed it forward. Like, I see that you into this, so I'm gonna help you out with it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, she played a vital role in that too. It's shocking that a lady would do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
kept me fresh a lot of the times, for sure.
I mean, my mom did the same thing. Have me and Markeisha carry all and Dominique just matching outfits with matching shoes, different jerseys and stuff. But I just think it's funny, and the moment I have about that is when I got into adult size, and my mom said no more.
Yeah, too much.
That was tragic. But I know obviously because you said I'm not an 80s baby, so I'm a 90s baby. Even though I was born in 88, I grew up in the 90s.
Correct.
So I'll take that from you. But for you growing up and growing up in the 90s and late 80s, like I remember the first, and I want to get to other stuff, but this stuff is so fascinating to me. I just want to know what you, because I never asked you this stuff before. But like when your mom, Shauna, she started realizing that you was into this stuff and dressing nice, like, because I used to talk about, and Uncle Grover used to talk about, like, yeah, Jason iron everything, he got to look fresh. And I always kind of envied that, because not everybody's born with the ability to dress and look good. But even at Aunt Janet's funeral, I pulled up, I think I'm clean in my suit, and I pull up, I'm like, Jason over here and looking clean, and I'm like, dang, man, I always one up me. But like for you, is it a conscious thing? Was all your friends trying to be clean, or did you have some dingy friends? Like,
yeah. Like the friends ran the gambit. So where I grew up at, it was low budget. So
yeah,
I grew up in the projects in Kansas, so not everybody was afforded. So the guys that had things to bring your friends along with you, go ahead, man. You can get this, you can get that, you can get these sneakers. So
that's
we all, fresh together. But yeah, I tried to out fresh the freshest. That was me. So that's why I developed certain things. I learned from older guys, like one of my best friend's brothers. He's the reason I iron clothes.
Oh, okay.
4th grade, I'd be in his room and he's ironed 20 pair of jeans.
Really?
Creasing them. I'm like, why are you doing that, man? He said, man, if you don't start doing this, you're never gonna get no ladies. From that moment on, I just mimicked him. But I wasn't a crease guy, but I just made sure there was no wrinkles in anything. So I just learned little things from guys.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. No, I think it's funny now looking back at my childhood and stuff like that. And there's plenty of stories that we might share at a different type of episode, different setting. But we talked about the fashion and a little bit of the sports. But what made you, like, later in my career? Because, I never, obviously I knew you worked out. I knew you were training other people, but they were different stages of their life than I was. I was a professional athlete trying to, dip into the major leagues. I've been in the minor leagues for a while, and obviously what I was doing wasn't working. So I looked at the opportunity and I'm like, all right, let's see what Jason's talking about here. And I know I talked about, I didn't really do the eating thing, but I started working out with you, and, we started kind of on what you was doing, CrossFit style stuff, but you kind of abbreviated it for baseball players. Right. And then later on in my career, we kind of changed it up a little bit. But were you like kind of chomping at the bit, like, man, this dude need to let me get him right? Or was it kind of just a spare of the moment thing where it just worked out, where we ended up starting working out together?
I never was chomping at the bit. I figured you were a professional. You were around professionals, so I figured they would get you together. But when the time came around and we talked about it, I was like, I got something for him. You know, it was just like going backwards to when you was a little guy. It was the same thing in my mind. I'm just training my little brother up. It never had to do with getting you to the next level or being a professional athlete. You were just my little brother. I just wanted to see you be at your best. That's it.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate that. And then I want to dive into so many things, but I really want to get to your sports career because, you know, obviously the Garner name, my dad was great at sports. My mom was great at sports. Your mom was great at sports. And it's just something that comes with it. And on the ride here, you was talking about, you know, your kids. You told them, like, look, if you're going to do something, you know, we ain't doing it. You got to go hard, you know.
Yeah,
so
you got to go all the way in.
So I knew I wanted to play sports immediately just because looking at you and you playing at Dover and all that stuff, and Nick and everybody, even like Julius and Eugene, everybody that, you know, I grew up with, family, non-family, was playing football and you know, doing it big, not just kind of on the team. So I was like, all right, I know I got to be one of the top players eventually. And it wasn't happening for me at first. But for you, you know, I guess if we talk about early on in career, did you know, like, okay, early on, like, I'm going to be a hooper or a football player? I just knew it was going to happen.
Basketball, not so much. Football, I just love football so much. I knew that I was going to play football. So basketball came later on, but as far as football, I loved it. I always wanted to be a running back, so I used to watch Barry. I used to watch Bo. I used to watch Gale Sayers. I used to watch Dickerson. I used to watch the guys in college, Bieniemy and all those guys. I just loved it. So. Oh wait,
Bieniemy, the Eric Bieniemy
for Buffalo. Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like I can't recall them all off the top of my head, but I just used to watch all of the guys that played. And I just tried to emulate them. That's all.
Yeah. I think that's big. That's what I did. I don't know if, Josh, you ever imitated any baseball players, but we would always switch up our batting stances. I don't want that to be lost in today's generation. But
I don't think that they do that.
They don't do that.
And growing up, I would watch just a Michael Jordan commercial that, you know, Be Like Mike commercial.
Yeah.
Soon as it was over, I was going to get a ball and I was going to the mini park and I was trying to dominate. It's just little things like that. I would watch North Carolina or Syracuse hoops, and I'm off to the mini park. I'm going to emulate everything I just seen. I don't think kids look at LeBron and those guys like that nowadays and try to do what they do. I don't even think they understand how great some of those players are.
Yeah,
it's just a different day and time now. So.
Do you think it's because players are more human now? You see them more off the court? Like Jordan, you only saw him in a Bulls uniform dunking on somebody.
Yeah, I think it's more access now.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan was like mythological.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You might see him in an after-game interview maybe, but you never seen him outside. They might show him playing golf or something like that.
Yeah.
You had to wait till game time. And then watching them being announced, all that stuff used to give me chills, man. When the Bulls would turn the lights off.
Oh, that dude's voice. After that, it was "Fly Like an Eagle" in Space Jam.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason I like that song. I was like, man, this is just, and I think that's funny because I feel the same way you do when I see something. Even now, even though obviously I can't really do much, but I'm still like, I find myself going back and watching Deion highlights, and I'm just like, man, I want to get back on the field, but. Yeah. Who was your favorite football player? But I know you named a lot of running backs, but you know I brought up Prime Time. He was one of my favorite, and I really didn't have a favorite quarterback growing up because to me there wasn't really someone exciting to watch until like Michael Vick came. Like it was just kind of everyone just they were great. They threw passes.
A lot of good quarterbacks. You missed Randall.
I liked Randall and Warren Moon, but
you missed a lot of guys.
I did.
For me, Barry Sanders was it, man.
Yeah.
The stuff he used to do was unreal. He was so little. You know, he'd hurt people the way he's moving around back there. And he didn't, he was the reason why running backs are 12 yards deep now because he never had a fullback and his line wasn't that good. He just did it on his own.
Dang. I always heard about stuff like that, but I didn't know, you hear about athletes, obviously Jordan, changed the way the game was, way you wore your shorts, the way players did a lot of things. But I didn't realize Barry had that much of an impact, because usually, what, are they 8 yards back? Or
between 5 and 8.
Oh, okay. Dang, I didn't know that.
He was back deep as a safety would be.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, learning stuff every day. That's what we do here. But now, before, obviously we talked about your favorite players and growing up. Like, when you came to Dover, because I want to touch on that before we get into fatherhood, but when you came to Dover, like, what type of offense was Dover running? I
think it was just like a I formation.
Oh, okay.
I came twice. I came in 7th grade.
Okay.
And then I played 7th grade and I left because I had too many problems.
Gotcha.
And then I came back in the 9th grade and I stayed.
Okay.
So the first time I came, it was like an I formation type of offense. And in 10th grade, I can't remember what we ran with Coach Sowers, honestly. But after that is when Coach If came and we went to. It was kind of like a pro style offense. My junior year and then my senior year, we went to wing T.
Okay. So you was with Coach If's first year. What was your first impression of Coach If?
He was my type of coach. He was intense. He knew exactly what he wanted. And, I like that. I like coaches that, are in your face, because I'm in your face too.
Yeah,
I didn't have a problem with it. I liked it. I thought that's coming from what we were. I thought we needed a kick in the butt.
Okay. I like that, because I always, Coach Von Kennel, Coach If, Dad. It was always, I'm just used to that. And then when I went and, was playing in pro ball, especially baseball, that's not the thing.
It's different. They dealing with grown men.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They can't talk to you a certain kind of way.
That's true. I guess I didn't think about it that way. But even in college, like, there was one time where my coach, Coach Bills, got into me because it was a bad game. But other than that, it was just a different environment. But so that's what's up. Like, and you would so his first year was 95?
No, Coach, his first year was 96.
Okay. How many guys y'all have on the team?
Not many.
Really?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 40-something.
Dang.
We didn't have many at all.
That's funny. I didn't want to focus too much on Dover because it's so long. You old. No, I'm joking. I'm playing. But I when I get asked these questions, I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm curious about certain things. But the time of the 90s was, it's always interesting to me. And then did it bring you back to halftime show? Nah, you weren't into it.
I really didn't watch it that much. I knew what I was gonna see.
I thought Tupac was coming. They was gonna make a holographic Tupac.
Yeah, I knew what I was gonna see. So I really, as far as all the Super Bowls, I can't remember one I sat and watched the whole time.
Really?
I want to watch the game.
Yeah, true.
I'm not I like the commercials more than halftime show.
Yeah, I mean the halftime show's been kind of dookie though lately. So I didn't know, but. Nah, man, it's good having you here, and it's just weird, because I plan to have family in when we sitting on the couch in the new studio. Studio's coming, I promise. Right, Josh? You said it's coming. I'm gonna hold you to it. But I just want to, before we get out of here, I want to talk about, 7 girls and being a father. What's that mean to you?
Everything, man. Family. That's the main ingredient for me, man. That's the key, man. Without that, I don't know what type of guy I would be. I love the girls to death, and it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Dealing with 7 different ladies, and all of them want to be the main lady, so to speak. But yeah, I love it, man. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's what's up. I know, me only having 2, I want to have more, but our plans don't always go the way we want them to. But for you being the type of like role model you are now, like I never looked, like growing up I didn't look at you that way. I looked at you as the kind of the person I wanted to be. And I say that because I was always, the nice kid, smiling all the time, and I've talked about on my episode, like previous episodes, that I didn't always have the confidence that I thought I should have in sports, like in socially, obviously, right. I'm cool. But I never thought, like with the talent I had, I never thought I was as confident as I should be, or someone that was just always in attack mode. And I'm sure you saw that. But I looked at you as the athlete that was super confident, wasn't scared of nothing, and then of course you had the swag before they even used the word swag, and accessories, all that stuff.
Deion said, "Man, you look good, you play good."
Gotcha.
I took that to heart, man.
I mean, I kind of do that now too. I mean, I know, Coach Mike don't know us wearing no wristbands or nothing, but
that's all part of the confidence.
Yeah.
If you feeling good going into the game, you're gonna play good. You're gonna do something in that game, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, that helps your team out.
What type of mindset did you have coming into games in high school, late in your career, and when you knew how good you were and what you wanted to accomplish? Like, what were you thinking? Were you a big visualizer and just kind of see yourself doing great things? I didn't do it intentionally. I just did that, especially on away games on the bus riding there. But how would you come into games in competition?
I was like that. I was a visualizer. I was focused. I just wanted to do anything I could do to help the team. So whatever that was, I was all for it. But yeah, I would sit and with my headphones on and think about scoring 2 or 3 touchdowns or making a big play or a special teams hit or anything.
That's what's up. No, I always thought it was cool, and I guess I never talked about the what I would do when I would go down in the basement and steal the shoes. But I mean, everybody, they got an imagination. I was in middle school, and by that time, you had graduated.
Oh yeah, I was a grown man.
Yeah. So you guys can imagine. I'll bring this story up because this is one of the worst ones. When I was in 8th grade, there was they might even came out back again, but it was the low top retro 11s where it was all white and the patent leather was red. And I couldn't remember. Did I put the red shoelaces in it, or you had the white ones and I put the red ones in?
I think you might have switched them out.
So I switched out the red laces, and then I went and played an 8th grade basketball game. And the laces bled all over the shoes. And for y'all sneakerheads that's watching, it's probably like, oh man. But yeah, I pretty much ruined. I tried my best to clean them up, but I already knew what was going on. It's almost like Dad when I would do something, break a window or do something, and he's coming home from work. I'm like, oh crap, I already know what's going on. I'm gonna need a couple underwear on and all that. But I was just like dreading that day when Jason realizes what I just did to his shoes, man. And it wasn't pretty, but there's plenty of those stories, and I just I'm glad that I had you come on, and I want you to come back on the show as well. Maybe we have more athletes from this area, because we was talking about the history a little bit. And I could go on forever, but the history I was you were kind of telling me about was a lot of people, because I knew about Dean Richards, C. Colbert, Pee Wee, but I didn't realize how big Colbert was, or Colbert. But there's plenty of people, CJ Paris, or Robbie Woods, rest in peace. But obviously I never got to see them play, and I didn't know how you felt about, athletes from our area and who grew up in our neighborhood. And it was nice to hear you, bring them up and give them their flowers, because and just before, make sure people know, when I say give them their flowers, that just means give them credit, pay homage, talk about how great they were. Because I wanted to do that with you, because I feel like that never, you never really got that, especially, everybody in this community, they look at me a certain way, and, I'm very appreciative of it. And I've accomplished great things, of course, but I do give credit to everyone around me. I don't think I'm like, I did this myself. I give credit to you, Dad, family, Susie, the community, teachers, coaches, pretty much everybody that pours in. But, not everybody has the same experience around here. And I know I already had C on the show, and, he gave his look on what it was like in this area. And that was a different time. We was going through a lot of stuff in society at that time, because I think that was 2020. He was one of the early episodes when it looked like we was recording in a prison cell. but now he, because of Josh, we look a little bit better. But just like, how I want to ask this. Just give like, people from this area. I don't know if they, everyone probably remembers C and what he did at winning Ohio State, the national championship. And, but I just want your take on the history of, I guess athletes at Dover. And I don't mean just black athletes, but I just mean just the talent that came out of this area. I feel like people don't really,
a lot of talent.
Yeah, they don't really think about it or kind of give. And I want to use this opportunity to kind of give people some credit that maybe has never received any. So who was the, I guess from our area, the person that you thought not was the best, but that you looked up the most to?
It wasn't one person. It was a lot of them. Just coming down here, visiting Dad. Being an athlete, you hear stories. You hear him talking about somebody. You hear our Uncle Bill talking about somebody. You hear our cousin Monty talking about.
Oh yeah, I can't leave out Monty. My bad. Oh my gosh.
So when you hear these guys mention these names and they go
Super Bowl.
Way back to the 40s and 50s, you just start thinking about it. And as you get older, you start relating to guys, CJ and Parrish, and those guys were I was young. I'm younger than them, so I was able to watch them play. I go in Aunt Charlene's house and see Monty on the wall. So me, I'm like, I'm going to be part of this legacy. I want to be better than all of them. So you just see that stuff and hear that stuff, and it make you proud and just to want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So I always thought about that too. And going back to that question that you asked about Mind State, I always felt like I had to be as good as them, if not better, to try to carry on what they laid down for us. So, yeah.
And it's weird that you look at it like that, because I noticed the same things. I saw Monty on the wall with the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champ, and I saw see what he did. I saw how great you were, and I heard about guys before that, but it just never seemed like it was something I could reach, just because I don't know. It just didn't seem like someone from Dover could do it. And it seemed like everyone from this area would either get hurt or something would happen to derail their career, where we couldn't have, someone have a crazy long career, be an all-star or, win the best rewards in that awards in that sport. So for me, when it did happen, I was just like, it's crazy. And I'll admit, when I got to pro ball, even in the minor leagues, I was like, okay, I'm a professional baseball player. I'm getting paid to play baseball. Like, I made it. And then about 2 years, I was like, what am I talking about? Like, I still got work to do. Yeah. Then it happened again. Once I got up to the big leagues, I was like, and it was a lot shorter time. When I got up to the big leagues, I was like, okay, this is amazing. I made it. I'm playing from a hometown team. This is great. But I would say not 2 years went by. I would say maybe, 2 weeks went by. And then I was like, all right, I got to be an all-star. I got to, win all these awards. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. Yeah. But I feel like you didn't look at the legacy as pressure.
No, I didn't. I never felt any pressure like to be like them. I just wanted to do some of the things that they done. If it afforded me to go to the next level, then great. But I never felt any pressure. I told you, I always felt like I was the best player, and that's not being braggadocious. I just took that into my approach. I
wish I had that.
That comes from being young and playing Pee Wee football. Like, my mom was my biggest fan, so when you got a parent that's always there for you and pushing you and telling other people in the crowd, he the best. So you develop that, you know what I'm saying? And then you start becoming good, and you think like, I really am pretty good at this. Okay. So I always been like that. Even today in the gym, working out, training, I feel like I'm the best trainer in there. And that's nothing against any other trainers.
Yeah.
I just take that approach to everything.
I mean,
I want to be the best, and I'm not the most knowledgeable. I always try to learn things from anyone. So I just take that approach to everything.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the best approach. I mean, Michaela said it better. She said it best in the last episode about, master, because I called her the master I don't know what I call marketing or whatever I called her the master of, but she was saying, it's that term is funny because, you never stop learning.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like, well, I know everything there is to know.
Something.
Yeah. So I think that was pretty good, but no, man, I appreciate you coming on. I feel like, we touched on a lot of stuff and I'm trying to, every day, because we'll talk on the phone for a while, because I'll bring up wishful thinking about, okay, this new diet I'm gonna try or this workout plan, but instead of just talking about it, I'm gonna get into it and I'm gonna start doing it, and then at a certain point, I want to get back into the gym with you.
No problem, anytime. I'm always there. That's my office.
I like it. All right, man. Well, appreciate having you on the show. We'll have you back on again.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of impromptu. I'm like, yesterday, I'm like, hey, you trying to come on the show? So I appreciate you coming through. But again, just wanted to, tell you that, before we go, like, you weren't just like, I didn't look at you as just a big brother. Like, it was different. And it was funny because as I got older, the appreciation grew. And usually that's how your parents are. At first you're young, you're like, oh, my parents don't know nothing, they stupid. And then when you get, about 23, 24, you're like, okay.
You get a better understanding. That's all it is.
Yeah. But for you, like, obviously when you're young, you don't realize certain things. So growing up with you, I always like, oh, this dude's mean. He always, folds me up and beats on me and stuff. But, I didn't see the bigger picture. And now that I'm a father, I kind of, I see the benefits that I got of being, a younger brother. And Peyton's doing that for Purse. She's talking quicker. She's got a bigger vocabulary. When you have someone, a bigger, older person, with they influence you. And I just want to let you know, because I feel like I never really straight up was like, hey, Jay, I appreciate everything you've done. And, I kind of, I looked up to you. Obviously, I know you knew that, but it's different when I come out and say it. So I appreciate the type of the man you are today for your kids. And, because I missed, I feel like I was gone for so long. I just missed a whole bunch of stuff. So when I came back to see, what you was doing, how you was doing it, and the text you send the family, and I also saw a different side of you when I came back, because I never really saw you joke and laugh a lot. I always just thought you had an attitude.
Always had the serious face. Yeah, when
the face you got on now.
Diaz told me that one time. She
really?
was like, I never thought I could talk to you because you always looked like you was mad about something. So that stuck with me, and I just, having the girls, I'm like, man, you gotta lighten up a little.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe that was God's way. But again, I want to say, thank you. And I know you have been through a lot of adversity with both of our parents passing away. And I always thought myself, for my younger siblings, that I was the rock. And then obviously, you being one of the oldest of my dad's kids, you was the rock that a lot of us leaned on. So appreciate that. And like I said, I want to give you your flowers after I saw on TNT they was giving T-Mac his flowers. So I was like, oh, this would be perfect. Let me do this for my big bro. So appreciate you. And thank you to everybody tuning in week after week. We still ain't at 1,000 subscribers. We need like 700 more.
Help them out.
Let's go.
Get his subscribers up.
Let's do it. We need to get that up there. But we're gonna keep bringing you content. I got a lot of stuff planned out through June. Josh don't know this yet, but I'm putting it on the calendar as it comes up. So make sure you go to store.percy.com, help out, Dover students. Yeah, I think that's it. Anything I missed? Oh, thank you, Subway, for sponsoring this podcast and making it possible. Like I said, we need to hurry up that contract because I'm enjoying the Subway and the new stuff they're coming out with every day. But without further ado, let's just end the show. Oh, the one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about the Rainbow Connection. So March 6th, we got the telethon coming up. If you guys want to donate to the Rainbow Connection, go to www.tuskrainbow.org, and there's a big blue button up there. So what we do is we help people with their medical bills, prescriptions, hearing aids, diabetes supplies, and more. If you want to be a part of that, then
smash the blue button.
You do it exactly. I should start saying that. That's the thing they say. They smash the like button. Anyways, leave it up to Jason. But thank you again for listening. Appreciate you. We'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.
It feels like Casablanca. Shawty, you my little mama. I got a crib by the water. Say me Casa su casa. It feels like Casablanca. Shawty, you my little mama. She be on that Henny. I like that Corona.